Good evening and thanks for joining me again today on the program Nafdac Today. I am Queen Obaseki. On the program this week, we are going to bring you clips of the press briefing Nafdac held at Sheraton Hotels on the 10th of June 2013, whereby they also paraded a man suspected to have engaged in counterfeit drugs. So sit back as the program continues shortly after this break.
You too can stay safe if you do this.
When buying drugs, look out for the scratch pin on the body of the packet. Scratch out the silver-plated code to reveal a 2-digit code. Type PIN to 38353 to check if it's genuine. You will get an instant message. Example, fake. Don't use or OK original.
Even before you pay.
Text is free on all GSM networks. Nafdac has put the power in your hands. So, save not just money, but your life. Nafdac, safeguarding the health of the nation.
A press briefing which was held on the 10th of June 2013 by Nafdac was to brief the general public of the activities of the agency. The Director General, in his speech, mentioned that the flurry of enforcement activities underscore the resolute commitment toward achieving zero tolerance to counterfeit drugs, being an affirmative declaration of His Excellency President Goodluck Jonathan. He also said that the agency have made another round of seizure of counterfeit drugs and unwholesome regulated products in continuation of its crackdown on the counterfeiters.
I really applaud the fact that you have made trips from London, from Liverpool, from the US, and very far destinations, flying for hours and hours to be here with us, to partner with us in the fight against counterfeit medicines, to make Nigeria a safer place, a healthier place. I do not take that for granted. I most heartily welcome you to this press briefing. My very distinguished colleagues at Nafdac, and then, of course, the most important collaborators and supporters, Nigerian media, who has helped us tremendously. I welcome you to this press briefing. So it is a great pleasure for me to welcome you all to this very important press conference. This is the 5th media briefing organized by Nafdac within the past 2 months to announce the seizures of various counterfeited drugs and unwholesome regulated products made by the agency. The flurry of enforcement activities underscores our resolute commitment towards achieving zero tolerance to counterfeit drugs, being an affirmative declaration of His Excellency President Goodluck Jonathan. We have set our eyes on the lofty target of ridding the country of counterfeit medicines, and we are not deterred from the onerous task of safeguarding the health of over 167 million Nigerians and other inhabitants in the country. I am particularly happy to inform you that Nafdac has made another round of seizures of counterfeit drugs and unwholesome regulated products in continuation of his crackdown on the counterfeiters. The counterfeiters have changed their tactics, and so has Nafdac devised new methods of staying ahead of them. They have shifted from shipment of container loads of counterfeit drugs through the seaports and clandestine importation of small and portable packages of counterfeit drugs at airports that can easily evade the eagle eyes of the law enforcement agencies. Some of them have resorted to trading on other communities as a decoy for wholesale importation, distribution, and sale of counterfeit medicines. The most recent of the drug counterfeiting menace were, first, we intercepted some fake medicines, a consignment of rabies vaccine, and this is a very serious vaccine, rabies vaccine, and then tetanus vaccine injection, totaling 47,091 units or packs. This is very serious. You know, a vaccine, somebody vaccinates to prevent disease, and here the vaccines were imported in very appropriate, are stored in very appropriate conditions, inappropriate conditions. The vaccine which is used for vaccination against rabies and tetanus was illegally imported in inappropriate storage condition, which could have, of course, made the vaccines ineffective. No, vaccines are supposed to be stored under very stringent temperature conditions, but here they were stored at very high temperatures. So the agency is still on the trail of the importer and the clearing agent. Then 0.25 milligrams of amoxicillin capsules, some herbal medicines, and herbal tea in 2 large packages with an estimated market value of 1.5 million naira was intercepted at NACO shed during routine inspection by vigilant officers. Amoxicillin is an antibiotic for the treatment of bacterial infection, and fake herbal tea tea products have been implicated in certain disease conditions of the liver and the kidney. The agency is still on the trail of the importer and the clearing agent. It's not even the market value that is important here. The public health implication of these fake products is more important than even the market value. The interception of packaging materials meant for faking fast-moving products. 2 large packages of 20,000 units of fake NGC codeine bottle caps. What about 5 million naira imported by Kaba and Kachi, cleared by Gojeb Global Resources? And then 129 Okota Road, Lagos, were intercepted by vigilant PID officers at Murtala Muhammad International Airport and Nako Cargo. The packaging material, which is an antitussive analgesic product, was imported with the intention of faking codeine syrup. The suspect, Mr. Emeka Eke, has been arrested. I think you are the one. And then 3 packages containing 15,000 pieces of packaging materials for the manufacture of fake Ole Carrot Lightning Shower Cream, and then 15,000 pieces of packaging materials for the manufacture of fake Ole Goat Milk Lightning Shower Cream, and then 5,000 pieces of packaging material for the manufacture of fake Avon Perfume Body Spray with an estimated market value of 4.5 million naira was intercepted at the Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Nako Cargo. The agency is still on the trail of the importer and the clearing agent. One Mr. Ositambakwe imported 4 packages of packaging materials for the manufacture of fake Sure White Lightning Shower Cream. The product, which has an estimated market value of 1 million naira, was intercepted at Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Nako Cargo. Investigations are still ongoing. Recent discovery has revealed that our success in stopping the importation of finished counterfeit medicines into the country has forced counterfeiters to now operate by importing packaged materials for fast-moving products, with the intent of faking these products, as earlier stated in our previous press briefing in Lagos. You know that before now it used to be finished counterfeit medicines that were shipped into the country. But because we have deployed so many different methods of trying to detect these fake products, what they have done by trying to import packaging material is that, you know, packaging material, if you say it's just packages or cartons, these are not Nafdac regulated products, so we're not supposed to inspect those containers. It does not trigger our system that the Nafdac imported regulated product is being imported. So what they have done is that they import these packaging materials to just evade our detection, and then while in the country they try to manufacture the fake product, feed them up with anything they want. It could be poison, it could be anything. They will fill it up and sell it to the members of the public. And so it appears from what we have seen recently, the new strategy they have adopted, that they must be building some illegal drug production producing companies within the country. And so that is why the most important thing about this press conference, we are asking members of the public to watch out and try to help us, give us information, because we have to close these illegal manufacturing outfits that are within the country. People should watch out for illegal activities, some suspicious production sites that they see. Maybe they should just inform us. You don't have to be sure that they are illegal production sites. If you see something that you think there's some production going on, inform Nafdac and we'll find out if it is an approved site for drug manufacturing. So we are appealing to members of the public to help us in this regards. This is the best way to help us crack down on this counterfeiting of products. And if you do that, you should be making your contribution to the fight against counterfeit of registered products. I also want to reiterate that there will be no sacred cow in the fight against counterfeit medicines. Any counterfeiter arrested will be prosecuted speedily in accordance with the extant laws. I reaffirm that landlords or warehouses stocked with counterfeit products and other substandard regulated products will henceforth be arrested and prosecuted as accomplices. If you have a warehouse and we find out that that warehouse is the site where counterfeit medicines are either being produced or stored, you also be arrested and prosecuted as an accomplice, because you are supposed to have reported that activity to us. To achieve the zero tolerance target for counterfeiting drugs and the other unwholesome regulated products, Nafdac requires the collective support of all Nigerians, particularly the mass media and healthcare providers. We place emphasis on the mass media because they are everywhere. They know some of this. They are the first people that people call to report some of these things, and they have more information that if they partner with us, they can help us. They have been doing that before, but I think we just need to show them which direction the counterfeiters are going, and they will help us by reporting such activities to us. So we are particularly appealing to members of the mass media and healthcare providers. Our innovative, multi-layered and well-coordinated anti-counterfeiting strategies have yielded tremendous success, and we shall continue to build on the current momentum. In conclusion, I sincerely thank you all for your enormous and unrelenting support in our collective effort to eradicate counterfeit drugs, unwholesome foods, and other substandard regulated products in the country. Thank you, and may God bless you all. If they are dangerous and I catch somebody trying to sell them, I will arrest that person trying to sell them. Even if it is only the food soldiers. By arresting the food soldiers, eventually the big guy may not have the food soldiers to do it. They may have to come out themselves to do it. So I will keep on arresting whoever we can, and until as far as we are concerned, whoever we catch with the drug, no matter how small or big, we are going to arrest you. We have got the small guys. Now, if you know the big guy, bring the information and we'll arrest them. But as far as the information about whether Nafdac is at the airports or not, we are at the airport. We have never been removed from the airport. And that is why you see us making all these arrests at the narco shed, where I think we got it mixed with seaports. We are not present at the seaports. These people have shifted strategy because when they used to bring bulk medicines in containers, we used to catch them. So what they have decided to do, because we have also a system with the Nigerian Customs Service that helps us to detect the cargo content before it leaves the shore. If it is a Nafdac regulated product, we get information that there's a Nafdac regulated product coming on a ship. And so we can detect it even on our computers. But when you are bringing a packaging material, for example, it is not registered as a Nafdac regulated product, so we are not supposed to go and inspect it. And so, but we have devised methods because we're working with some intelligence agency officers who still find out that packaging materials are being brought into the country for the purpose of faking medicines in the country.
Promised an exception within your first 4 years plus an after, but there are a few things you need to do, say, the next 1 or 2 years to enable you to the agency to deliver you promised?
Definitely, I have not done all that I wanted to do at Nafdac. First and foremost, my immediate task was to rid the country of fake and unwholesome products. We have significantly reduced the incidence of counterfeit medicines. By the time in 2008, you remember that the QAMSA study, we call it the Quality of Anti-Malaria Studies done by the WHO to evaluate the quality of anti-malaria circulating in African countries. About 14 African countries were evaluated, and Nigeria was one of them. At that time, we had a worse incidence in 2008, just before I came in. More than 64% of the anti-malaria drugs circulating in Nigeria were either fake or substandard. Now, by November last year, by the announcement of the DG of the WHO, Dr. Margaret Chan, when we were in Argentina at the first meeting of the spurious, substandard, falsely labeled, fake counterfeit medical products, the first meeting, she announced that now the situation had dramatically improved, and the quality of medicines failing, the amount of medicines failing quality tests, anti-malaria drugs particularly, in sub-Saharan Africa has fallen to just about 20%. A significant drop from more than 64% to 20%, I think, is good. But that is not what I promised Nigerians. I said I said zero tolerance. So zero tolerance means that coming from a background from the US, where advanced countries like Canada, US, Britain, there the incidence of counterfeit medicine is just like less than about 0.1%. And even that is occasioned by people trying to buy too cheap to be true medicines via the internet, or some lifestyle drugs that they are ashamed of going to a doctor for prescription. They buy it through the internet. And in the US and other advanced countries, have been shown that about more than 50% of those drugs purchased via the internet are fake. So I promise Nigerians that I want to bring the incidence of counterfeit medicines to zero. I mean, at least close to what we have in these advanced countries. 20% of fake anti-malaria drugs circulating in the country is still very bad, and we still need to work on it. And that is why we brought new measures. This scratch and text message. We say that every anti-malaria drug is circulating in Nigeria should have that scratch and text message to verify the quality of these medicines. We hope that by the time it is fully implemented, we'll be able to significantly also drop the incidence of, even much further, the incidence of fake medicines in the country. We still wait to see how far that will go. We have other technologies and other strategies. We wanted to completely eradicate other counterfeit medicines. You remember that the history of counterfeit medicines first discovered in Nigeria in 1968. By 2001, the situation progressively worsened, and counterfeit medicines, we had more than 40% of counterfeit medicines. If you look at the total medicines, I'm not singling out the anti-malaria drugs. Anti-malaria drugs are the most often counterfeited, and that is why you see them sometimes you will see the general picture. The counterfeit medicines are down, but anti-malaria drugs are very high because they are sold in large volumes in Nigeria. By 2005, due to the efforts of my predecessor, the incidence of counterfeit medicines was reduced in Nigeria from that 40% to just about 16.7%. And when I came in, I said that is not good enough. 16.7% of counterfeit medicines circulating in a population of 167 million people is not good enough. So I said we will knock it down further. We evaluated using the TrueScan recently, and we have also some samples of medicines to be evaluated by the WHO also. But we show that if you look at the total picture, especially in the major cities, the incidence of counterfeit medicines is less than 10% now. But in the rural areas, it's still a little bit higher. We're still fighting to reduce that in the rural area, because most of the people who reside in those areas are uneducated, and most of them are poor. So even within counterfeit medicines, we want to bring that to zero. And then if you look at other indices, when I came in, Nigeria was importing more than 70% of essential medicines that were needed in this country. What we did was to encourage local manufacturing and also to improve the quality to international standards approved by the WHO, one quality, WHO pre-qualification. We encourage companies, you must have heard, Juhe Pharmaceuticals responded, invested heavily, and brought the biggest infusion company of the African continent built within that 2010. We went to commission with Mr. President. That's one of the best companies as far as infusions is concerned on the African continent. They are currently undergoing WHO pre-qualification. We also went the very next year, to commission May and Baker with Mr. President. May and Baker also built a state-of-the-art facility. In fact, as we speak today, more than 15 companies have responded and spent huge sums of money, most of them more than 6 billion naira each, to build good facilities that are undergoing WHO pre-qualification. We hope that by the end of this year, we should have at least 4 or 5 companies, by the end of next year, we should have at least 4 or 5 companies getting WHO pre-qualification. WHO pre-qualification shows that your medicine meets the quality, the international standard, quality standard, and can be sold anywhere in the world, not just here in Nigeria. If you look at it, 70% of imported medicines, and if we have 167 million Nigerians, and the population is increasing. So imagine a situation where, for some reason, medicines cannot come from some of these other countries. Then what are we going to do with 167 million Nigerians? When you do that evaluation, then the availability of quality medicines manufactured here locally by Nigerians, made available at affordable prices, becomes a national security issue. Because you want to be able to take care of your people no matter what. So that is why we have taken it up, and we requested for a 200 billion naira pharmaceutical intervention fund so that it can make money available, cheap loans, a single-digit interest rate, long-term loans. Right now, you cannot get even a loan for 2-3 years in the country. And the percentage, the interest rates are more than 20%. You cannot manufacture medicines with that kind of loan. So we have requested that is in the works, but the Bank of Industry has gone ahead and is making very good loans available to some of these industries based on that arrangement that we had. This past year alone, Nigerian government bought medicine from Nigerian manufacturers worth more than 1 billion naira for the first time. So these things are working. And by the time, in fact, with the Saving 1 Million Lives initiative, and also the UN Commission for Life-Saving Commodities for Women and Children, most of the medicines are being manufactured, especially for management of diarrhea. You know that diarrhea kills a significant number of Nigerian children. Most of these medicines are now manufactured locally and accepted internationally. So I think we are getting there, but we're not yet where we want to be. So there are things that need to be done. We have done so much within the past 4 years.
Some Nigerians from the diaspora also spoke on the need for Nigerians to join Nafdac in the fight against counterfeit drugs.
I have watched closely all the efforts you've made, as my president have said, in the United Kingdom, because we are really interested in our people. We live abroad, but our mind is always here. We are always in this country nearly every 2 months, because we've got families here. Nafdac is doing a very great job, because I lost a brother through fake counterfeit drug. So I appreciate the effort Nafdac is doing, and I'm really privileged to be here this morning. We have established an NGO. I saw you talking about NGO about a few minutes ago. And I will say, I think that is what we all should take away from this meeting today. That you cannot do the work alone. You will need every one of us to help, because you said something very important. If every state agreed to do something, then the job of Nafdac will just be small.
And since we started partnering with Nafdac in the last 2 years, we have monitored, and I am so happy to say that we are pleased with the strides that have been recorded. They are so kind and far-reaching that nothing can stop progressively minded journalists like me from championing the cause of further building more bridges between Nigerians at home and those in the diaspora. We are so pleased. One word I have to give. Most times, Nigerians suffer in silence. They go through very serious medical situations. They don't want to talk about it. And because we don't talk about these things, evildoers amongst us, they benefit. and we died in silence. I have tried to make a strong difference from such a crowd. I don't want to die. I must say something. If I must die, I am legally blind. It therefore means that by the grace of God and what the American government has been able to do, I'm able to function effectively as a journalist using top of the notch.
Some members of the sister agency, National Drug Authority Uganda, were also present. Amongst who are David Nahanya, Inspector of Drug, National Drug Authority, Uganda. Also, Lukwango Muhammad, Inspector of Drug, National Drug Authority, Uganda. Arinontiv Wycliffe, Law Enforcement Officer, National Drug Authority, Uganda. Frederick Sikyana, Head Public Relations, National Drug Authority, Uganda. That's